Welcome to Crawlspace. I'm Tim here today with Lance. What's up, Lance?
What is going on? Things are really good over here. I hope everyone listening is having a wonderful start to their Friday. This is a Friday morning/afternoon, and maybe that would put a smile on your face, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We recorded a really fun live show last night as we record this. It was Thursday, August 25th that we recorded with Jordan Bonaparte and his friend Aaron from the Nighttime podcast. They've been doing this series called Keep Canada Weird. We've been doing a series called Weird Space. We thought, let's kind of cross them over and call it Keep Earth Weird and have a fun live show. And you know what? It turned out to be an absolute blast.
Really exceeded expectations. Handsome Aaron Airport completely lived up to the expectations. He is a real looker. And the two of them together, the two of us together, the chat room, it was a very lively episode and lots of laugh out loud moments. I think people are going to really enjoy this.
I think so too. And we went over some weird stories, most of them from the U.S., one from Canada. And so definitely check out what Jordan and Aaron have been doing at the Nighttime Podcast. You can check it out at nighttimepodcast.com. I highly recommend really all of Jordan's work, but the Keep Canada Weird series just really brings a smile to my face.
Yeah.
And if you like what we do over here but want it ad-free, we have a solution for you.
Please indulge me.
Well, it's called Crawlspace Premium, and you can sign up at crawlspace.supportingcast.fm, and you can even use promo code Crawlspace to get your first month free. And you get ad-free episodes. Every single episode is ad-free, and you also get our weekly bonus show.
You know, I'm going to do this reverse psychology thing again. I think people like the ads. I think they like the ads. I think maybe we should double up on the ads. Maybe pull back on the content. Yeah, if you want to go over there and use code Crawlspace to get your first month for free, maybe test it out, but we'll totally understand if you are used to the ads and that's, leaving a hole in your heart, not hearing them.
The gauntlet has been thrown. So check out crawlspace.supportingcast.fm.
The next thing you're going to tell me, Tim, is that something like this exists for our show Missing as well.
You're absolutely right. It does. And you can check that out at missing.supportingcast.fm. And it's basically the same thing. You get everything ad-free, and you also get our weekly bonus show.
And I'll tell you what, if you really do love those ads, you can still sign up for the Missing subscription service show, and you can pay extra, and we'll put in extra ads. So that can be a perk too.
And Lance, you've got an upcoming trip to Savannah, Georgia. Tell us about that.
I certainly do. I will be at the Savannah True Crime Expo on Saturday, September 10th. I'm going to be joined by some wonderful folks from the podcast biz. Mind Over Murder is going to be represented. LA Not So Confidential is going to be represented. Santa Maybe a Criminal, Already Gone. I mean, the list goes on and on. Speakers, we got Dr. Henry Lee. We got Ashley Wilcott. And this is in Savannah, Georgia at the DeSoto Hotel. And go to SavannahCrimeExpo.com to get more information.
All right, everybody. Follow us on social media at Crawlspace Pod or Crawlspace Podcast. Thanks a lot for listening.
And remember, keep the earth weird.
We've got Jordan Bonaparte from the Nighttime Podcast and handsome Aaron Airport, also from the Nighttime Podcast. They've been doing the Keep Canada Weird series, and it's been a total hoot. And welcome to the show, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm going wonderful. I don't want to steal the show here, Tim and Lance, but I just want to say right up the front that actually today's my birthday.
Oh, what? Happy goddamn birthday.
You're so
I don't
full
want
of
to steal the show, but it's my birthday. Well,
this is unreal. This actually transitions into what we were talking about earlier, Tim and Lance, about Jordan.
It just totally, it falls right in line with, we were on for hours before Jordan joined, and handsome Aaron really he needed to get stuff off his chest, and there's a lot of dirt now. There's a lot of dirt on Jordan, and this just falls right in line.
Well, it's just a shame that we'll have to talk about my birthday instead of whatever you guys were talking about.
Yeah, just bring it right back to you again. That's fine.
Well, happy birthday, Jordan Bonaparte of the Nighttime Podcast. A big happy birthday from
Happy 25th. Happy 25th to Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time. This is off to a really terrible start.
Now, Jordan, before we were graced by your presence here tonight on your birthday, Aaron was filling us in on some gripes that he has with you, apparently that go back years now.
Oh, yeah.
The word traitor was thrown around.
Mm-hmm.
Coward.
The word coward. And it was mostly about you having moved away and gone towards Halifax and away from Cape Breton. Mm.
It's an issue. The whole like getting a job in an actual city thing is something Aaron just never has agreed with.
Wow.
Sadly, I would like.
I'd like to get an actual friend in an actual city. Someone who cares about me.
No, it's a shame. Like I would like to have a life of just I don't know, putting on plays in a dead end town. But here I am, 41 on my birthday.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the most I've ever seen two Canadians argue.
Buckle up.
Yeah. Well, if he was here, this would get physical pretty quickly.
Was that an Olivia Newton-John reference? R.I.P.?
We'd be dancing.
Yeah. It is now.
It is. Well, yes. Handsome Aaron Airport. How did you get that name? That needs to
that name
be
is in no relation to my just below average looks. It's
Oh, you could be a model. Stop it.
Yeah, a model of clay. But I would it just when we were in a band together, Jordan and I, and the only person who calls me Handsome Aaron is Jordan, so let's just clear that for the record. But we came up with airport themed names for ourselves, so each member of the band had, because the band's name was Airport, we all tried to have kind of airport style names or characters in the band. And mine was Handsome Aaron Airport. Jordan was Jordan Bone Airport.
I'm sorry?
Well, I think it was a play on like a Dracula thing, like Von something. So I thought of it as Jordan Bon instead of Von Airport. It was like the kind of like the aviation version of like a Dracula type character.
Like capital B, capital A.
Yeah, exactly.
Bon Airport.
Dash or whatever in there. Hyphen.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually cool. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Well, that's really it.
That's the whole story.
I'll make something up because I told you to continue.
Okay. Well, the other members of the band, we had a band member named Thomas Allen. He was Takeoff Thomas Allen.
I see that.
But my favorite name in the band was our bass player, Donnie Calabrese. His name was The Runway Donnie Cool Breeze.
Wow.
That was always my favorite. Yeah,
that's
the coolest name ever.
That is pretty good. Yeah, that one's got you all beat, I guess. What kind of music did Airport play?
We were like a pop rock, I guess, kind of band. How would you kind of describe it, Jordan?
I would say like there's kind of two sides of it. So as far as the music, it was like, yeah, pop rock would be the way to describe it, but it was way more than just about the music. Like I think people who came to our shows and were into what we were doing were more we always thought of it as like mixing like the typical rock band style with a dinner theater kind of approach. So there was lots of, I don't know, theatrics.
There's a lot of improv, a lot of audience kind of interaction, participation, a lot of making things up on the spot. Just trying to make up the weirdest songs we could about whoever was in front of us at the time. And
yeah, I think a lot of people would say the music, like the actual songs, was the most boring part of the show.
Yeah, I like to say that as a songwriter.
Yeah, Aaron wrote the songs.
Well, you got to set the expectations.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Our first story here is from Indianapolis. It's the guy Joey Chestnut, who has won 15, I believe 15 straight wins in the annual Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, which takes place on the 4th of July in New York. Well, before a minor league baseball game between Indianapolis and Rochester, Joey Chestnut took the field and ate a bunch of popcorn. Apparently, he ate 32 servings of popcorn, 24 ounces each, and he did it in 8 minutes.
Ooh.
Breaking the record that was previously set of 28.5 servings.
I'll be drinking water. One hand is going to be gripping the right size handful, squeezing it just enough. One chew in my mouth, and then a sip of water to chug it down. And it's just going to be maybe a couple chews towards the end of the contest. My throat's going to be tired, so I'm going to have to chew a little bit more. I might actually have to drink a little bit more water. It's going to be a battle. Yeah, and then there's so much air in popcorn. I'll be fighting burps towards the end. There's a lot of air will trying to come out, and I just got to fight it.
I did a Google search to get a sense of how big these containers of popcorn he was eating. It's not small bags. I would compare it to like if you go to a movie theater and you order like a medium or small popcorn.
I think it's more close to a small. I was at the movies last night and I had a small popcorn. How does someone get into eating contests in general is kind of where my mind went when I read this article. Was that what choices do you make in your life that bring you to the table for the first time, where you're like, I'm gonna eat as many hot dogs as I possibly can, as fast as I can, because I eat, like I'll order a large pizza, and I'll eat 3 or 4 slices of it, by myself, and I can't look in the mirror afterwards.
And that's over the course of like an hour or so.
Yeah, that's like I have 2 slices now. I watch some TV. I have a slice later, then a slice later, and then I'm just like, what did I do? Why did I do this to myself?
That last slice is just filled with self-doubt and deprecation.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to feel that way. You're like, I'm completely full from the 2 to 3 slices I already have, but I'm going for it anyway. And I know I'm going to feel terrible afterwards, but I just do it.
I'm thinking the people who go in these competitions, they must pay the price for days after. Like if you ate that much popcorn, I feel like I would maybe it would take me 5 days before I start feeling normal again. And popcorn, more so than some of the other foods you see in these eating competitions, popcorn is so dry and salty that it would really screw you up.
He referenced how much water he had to keep drinking while he was eating the popcorn
to get it down.
This is true.
But who can love someone like this is what I want to know. Like,
that is a
these
great
people
question.
do they have partners? Like, there's no, like, this guy's wife is not sitting clapping along in the audience being like, that's my husband. Look at him go.
Well, first of all, there's no ring on his finger there, so I don't know. Unless he lost it in the bowl of popcorn.
Yeah, unless he ate the ring.
He ate the ring. He ate his wife.
Yeah, no, his wife is digested.
Well, he was only a small guy. I don't think he could eat a human. But he's surprisingly, like with these big eating competitions, you would expect it to be this huge person who'd have a ton of space in their belly to fit all this food. But it's just a regular kind of figure on this guy to eat that much popcorn. That side of it is impressive. But I'm just like, the question I have is just why? Why would you, of all the things you could be in the spotlight for, eating the most popcorn of anyone, why would that be your thing?
Isn't it a concern that he might choke? Do you, like, how many times have you eaten popcorn and you're like, I never eat popcorn alone because I'm terrified I'm going to choke on it?
Yeah.
I would say that's a serious threat here.
There's this thing, I remember I was doing this in high school. You know those crackers that are like I think they just call them like saltines. They're just like the most basic salted cracker. They come in a big long tube or whatever, and they're squares. I remember doing this competition where you would try, if it was like, if you could eat 10 of them in 1 minute, you would get, $5 or whatever. And once you put them in your mouth and chewed them, it would just dry out so much that you can't swallow them fast enough, so it takes long. When I'm thinking of this guy doing it with the popcorn, I think of that. But then I'm also thinking of this situation in the States, this probably 10 or 15 years ago. Some radio station had a competition encouraging people to drink as much water as they could or something. And someone drank so much water that they actually died. Like you can kind of overhydrate yourself.
It was WAAF in Boston, or Worcester, Boston, did a competition for how fast you could drink a gallon of milk.
That's
and
what
this
it was,
woman,
yes.
yeah, this woman drank a gallon of milk and she ended up dying. I think that was the Opie and Anthony show. Might
really?
not have been Opie and Anthony, but it was around their time, like mid-90s or something. But yeah, yeah. I mean, don't push, like, you don't have to do these things.
No, and nobody respects it. Like, it's not
no
like
one
this
does.
this doesn't get you laid. Like, it's the opposite. It repels all human.
Repels.
Yeah, no. Like, who are you doing this for? Is it for you? Because that's even sadder. Is it for other people? No one's watching.
It's for the nation. It's for the nation.
That's right.
He eats an insane amount of hot dogs on July 4th, and we all say thank you to the troops.
We say freedom.
Yeah,
freedom.
I guess I can see the freedom. Like, I'm free to do this.
I'm free to give myself ridiculous cholesterol.
Yeah, I'm free to just swim in gout now.
Well, someone mentioned Joey Chestnut's size and that he's not a big guy. Joey Chestnut knocked off Kobayashi, who is a competitive eater from Japan who had won 5 or 6 of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest before Joey Chestnut knocked him off in true American fashion. But Kobayashi, only 5'8", also, and 44 years old. Like, not a big guy. So I think there's something weird here with this. Like, you don't have to be big to win these competitive eating contests.
Well, it's going to catch up with you in some way. You don't have to be big. You have to have, like, a pliable stomach. So I remember Kobayashi saying that he would do, like, stomach exercises to make sure that he could carry that much in his stomach. So he would, focus on, like, working out, like, pushing out his stomach and working it out that way.
Right.
But it's going to catch up with you. Like, you can't put that much garbage in your body. Like,
what's the liability like for the people who are putting on this event? Like, what do their insurance companies think? Like, are they like, yeah, do it, have them completely put 800 hot dogs down their throats for
chugging water,
hour.
like just drowning themselves.
Like, someone's gonna die doing this, and then who's responsible for that?
And honestly, like, it's the worst of society. Like, this is the
starving people in the world.
Yeah,
this stuff is
right?
down. Like, stop. Enough is enough.
Really, that what Joey Chestnut's eaten in the last week could feed a starving country.
And the water too. There are people who have to walk
there's a water
miles
shortage.
and miles for water, just enough just to stay alive. And this guy is just covering himself in it while he's stuffing his face with popcorn and hot dogs. And like,
yeah.
And his last name is Chestnut. Like, we haven't talked about that yet. Is that a common last name, Chestnut?
Yeah, I guess it's not uncommon, but it is also food.
I know, yeah.
Oh, not very different than like a popcorn kernel too, right? Chestnuts?
Yeah, it's kind of a nut. Yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah, there's something there. I like that this happened at a baseball game, like before a minor league baseball game. Like, who's asking for that before a minor league baseball game?
Well, maybe a bunch of like minor league baseball players. If anyone is interested in seeing this and cheering this on, it's a bunch of like 12-year-old boys, I guess.
I guess so.
And their half-drunk parents.
Do you think that the baseball facility just had an excess of popcorn and they're like, I don't want to throw it away, I feel bad.
So we'll call Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, call Joey Chestnut.
No, let's get the human vacuum cleaner, Joey Chestnut, in here. Suck up this problem.
Yeah, I think that must be it.
Yeah, but it's, like we're in the era now where, taking pictures of your food and putting on Instagram is like a normal thing. And you do all this crazy stuff for social media attention and likes and clicks, like putting your life at risk, because someone will film it and put it online, sort of thing. This is just kind of another part of that. Like, Joey Chestnut has his photo on the news, and he's probably was interviewed after. So it just gives like a bit of a, I'm not saying he's doing it for attention, but I can see why some people with not a lot going on may get sucked into the world of competitive eating.
I don't see it.
It's as good of a theory as any, Jordan, I'd say.
Let's go with it.
Seriously, let's go with that.
I'm trying to understand the psychology of it. That's what I got.
Yeah, there's nothing to it's no one will figure this out.
And we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Thanks to our sponsors, and now we're back to the program. Okay, well, Jordan, you mentioned food on Instagram. Just a couple days ago, on August 23rd, it was the annual National Cuban Sandwich Day, as started by Tampa Bay Times reporter Christopher Spada back in 2016.
I love this story.
I do too. I'm a huge fan of national days, and I'm a huge fan of national food days. And I'm a huge fan of the Cuban sandwich. So,
And a fan of kind of just like trolling society for being ridiculous. So it's kind of, this has it all.
I'm just a fan of stories, so that's how I like about this.
before we get into this, we all have to ruminate, and the chat room has to contribute to this as well. This guy started it sort of as a hoax to see if he would be able to get a National Food Day, and he wanted the Cuban sandwich. So this was started sort of on a whim, a hoax. We need to do that right now. We don't have to make the decision right now, but we can at least say right now we have to come up with a national day. Maybe we can focus on food, and it can be August 25th. I'll let that sit so we can all think about it and we can move on with this conversation. Maybe by the end of the episode, we'll have something, but we need to come up with we'll just focus on food, I guess, because it's going to be the easiest thing, the National What Day. So we can move on.
All right. Well, there are, maybe to give some people some ideas, there are other weird holidays on August 23rd that this reporter was kind of trying to bump, including Buttered Corn Day, which I guess is another way of saying, I guess that's not technically popcorn, huh? Because it could just be corn on the cob, right?
I think it's corn on the cob, yeah. Why not just do why not just do corn on the cob day?
Well, that's a different day, apparently. It's not August 23rd.
I love corn on the cob. That could be every day.
How do you cook your corn on the cob?
You know what? I'll just tell you one quick story. I was at a cottage with my mom when I was a kid, and it was like kind of a cottage community where there was all these kind of summer homes, and a lot of the people who had their summer homes in this area had separate properties, of course. And one of them was I think he was a farmer, and he had a cornfield. And so when he showed up at cottage country where we all were, he brought he just had a regular truck, like a pickup truck, but the back of the truck was full to the brim with ears of corn that had already been husked or whatever. And what they ended up doing was they had this pot that was as big as a bathtub, and they lit a fire underneath it and put just a bunch of corn in it, and everyone in the neighborhood was there just eating the corn as much as they wanted. But they, separate to that, they had another smaller pot that they put probably 30 sticks of butter in with a fire underneath it, so it was a big thing of butter. So you would take the one thing of corn and just dip it in the big pot of butter and eat it. And I love corn on the cob, and that was just a great night. I was probably 15. I'm 40 now, and I still remember how good it was.
That's amazing.
I heard you're 41 now.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy
Today's my
birthday.
Wow, it's your birthday?
Weird.
So here's a couple other ones that are listed in this article. Hug Your Sweetheart Day, International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition, which I feel is doesn't fit with the other days here because that one actually sounds like a real day.
Mm-hmm.
National Cheap Flight Day.
I like that one.
National Ride the Wind Day.
Yes.
And National Sponge Cake Day.
Yeah.
So
I want to.
So ride the wind, is that how do you do that?
Oh, you ride the wind, never
Like
coming
a
back
kite?
again.
Fly a kite?
Like a
flying?
kite or parasailing or something?
Roll your windows down
Yeah, maybe.
in the
Yeah,
car?
windsurfing. I don't know.
I think if we really wanted to have a day that takes off, what you need to do is appeal to people's kind of egos and have some kind of day that people talking about it would make them feel like they're doing something good for the world. Do you know what I mean? Like if you can have something that make people, people would change their profile pics on Facebook to, a solid green circle to represent, whatever, healthy eating day or whatever it is that makes people feel like they're
making a difference.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's the stuff that catches on. Of course, ALS is a real disease, and a lot of people suffer with it. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is an example. People were able to, it was like a viral thing that went across the web where people were doing something that kind of put them in the spotlight, but were also, raising an awareness for a specific issue.
Right.
Yeah, not a specific day for that one, but more of a campaign kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think that you could find like a day version of something like that just goes nuts. But I guess
get your attention.
Mm-hmm. And it's got to be relatable.
And it has to be something that people can show off a little bit while they're doing it, because that's the stuff that people go on social media and
everyone's going to take videos of themselves doing it, but just on this one day though.
Mm-hmm.
Glove Guy Day.
Oh, there you go.
What about at the beginning of winter? You could have like Glove Day, and the idea is like now's the time. Oh, I got it. This is the day that you should get gloves for upcoming winter, but it's also a day that you can donate your old gloves to charity for people who can't afford new gloves. National Glove Day, where you get and give gloves.
Oh, this is great. I have to look this up because I've looked up the suggestions that we had, and we've had some really good suggestions here, like National Leftover Pizza Day. Thank you, Barco. But that already exists. Like all of these already exist. Mozzarella Stick Day is October 20th. Like these already exist. So I'm going to look up National Glove Day.
And the shirt Tim is wearing would be like the logo for the whole initiative, the no glove, no love.
No, I got to cut you off here because I feel like you're just trying to advertise nighttime podcast here by doing this. Let's call this
typical.
What it is.
Typical.
Well, I think I'm, we're on to something, but it doesn't have to be gloves, but it could be something like that where it's like, get it, give it.
What about, National Punch Somebody in the Face Day?
That's every day for me.
That would go viral. Okay. That would go viral for all the wrong reasons. Have you been on the internet?
We just want to go viral though, right? We're not talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Does it matter the reason? All that matters is that we make up the day and it goes viral, right?
National Go Viral Day.
What about National Day?
September 20th is National Punch Somebody Day.
Wow, really everything is taken at this point.
It really, yeah.
Yeah. And I
what
mean,
about National Grind Your Teeth Day?
That might work. Yeah, the whole thing started as a hoax by this reporter who gave himself an assumed name, but just gave himself initials, SG Spada, same last name. And what I find really funny is it says he sent a fake press release to food writers and restaurants around the country. He also created a Facebook group. But what's the difference between sending a fake press release about this and a real one? What makes it fake if he actually sent it?
Well, I guess just the content of the press release.
Probably, yeah.
But how do all these other days happen? Just from stupid conversations?
It's the same thing, yeah. That's really, I think you're right. It's really, he went through all the proper channels. Like, it's official. It's not even a hoax.
Every day kind of starts with what's the difference between a fake press release and a press release that is based on wishful thinking? Like that's going to catch on. But it's
National Wishful Thinking Day.
We can be the kings of wishful thinking.
National Press Release Day, where everyone just writes crazy press releases and sends them off. Because if you write a good press release and send it to enough places, they're so lazy, it'll end up in newspapers. You could write anything, and if it looks half decent, they'll just print it word for word.
Well, I wish that was the case, but we've tried to do that with press releases on missing persons. Zero. None.
Really?
No one. No, not at all. Yeah. Anyway, so this brings me to a question for everybody. The Cuban sandwich is a wonderful sandwich. It's a very stimulating sandwich, flavor wise. But does it stand up to the Reuben?
I have more experience with the Reuben, so I guess that's why I would lean towards the Reuben, but only for that reason, because I don't see the Cuban on a lot of menus in my area.
Hell no.
It's true.
Would it be more of an American thing with you being closer to Cuba?
I feel like it is.
I feel like you would need to go looking for it in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fair question. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I used to do a work job in my work job in Miami, and there's Cuban sandwiches. We went looking for the best, and it was like unbelievable. Yeah, something about the flavor combination is just kind of more extreme than the Reuben, Lance. So I would say it's kind of in a different category for me. It's really
What
the
makes
mustard.
it more extreme? The
I think it's the mustard.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you can do a little mustard with your Reuben.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the Thousand Island.
You could, yeah. So the Cuban consists of ham, roasted pork, pickles, and mustard on Cuban bread.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Sounds pretty good.
But who's Barco, by the way? Because he's tearing it up, or
Yeah,
she
well,
is
a
tearing
work-
it up.
A work. Barco says Tim needs a work job to get those money checks.
I do.
But yeah, I think with what I like about a Cuban or any sandwich like that, the idea of just like a very simple sandwich where it's like 2 pieces of really nice bread, some meat, and just like, nothing too crazy, like something like just a really good high quality mustard. That's just like when you get a good sandwich made with care like that, it deserves its own day. So I'm all for Cuban Sandwich Day.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice sandwich. But Shannon brought up in the chat, she said, I feel like no one celebrates the egg salad sandwiches.
Oh,
And-
why would you?
Well, the egg salad sandwich is in my top 3.
What?
What is wrong with you?
A lot. But see, here in Nova Scotia and Cape Breton in particular, egg salad sandwiches are at every single event, every funeral. It's all egg salad sandwiches.
Funerals
for
and
miles and weddings. Yeah, for miles and miles. Just folding tables covered in egg salad sandwiches.
Why would you go with funerals first?
Because that's where I've eaten a lot of egg salad sandwiches. That's where I grew to love them. That's why I like funerals.
Yeah, great sandwiches there.
Oh, wow. All right. Well,
Oh my God, you broke me. That's really funny. And we'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
thanks to our sponsors, and now we're back to the program. Let's move on to another food-related story here, and this one comes from your guys' neck of the woods. It is about a candy company up in Canada who is paying a lot of money for a job. A good salary, $78K annually in
That's 78K.
US,
That's American,
USD. Yeah, $100K Canadian. And the job is basically a head taste tester, and you're going to try up to 113 pieces of candy a day.
I got a lot to say. For one, they're offering, they're accepting applicants aged 5 years and up. I feel like this is like a promotional kind of scam or something, but it's in NPR, like it's getting actual press coverage. I've never heard of this company. I think they call themselves the Fun House. And I honestly feel like they're just trying to get attention by offering something like this. Also, $100,000 in Canada, Canadian $100,000. That's that would be considered a high paying job.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
Doesn't
know a
make
lot
sense.
of 5-year-olds with social insurance numbers here in Canada.
That'd be an issue. Well, I think you got to be 13, is it, to work?
Yeah, you have to reach a certain age before you can get to, so you're allowed to work.
Well,
Yeah.
it says applicants can be as young as 5, so it doesn't necessarily suggest they have a chance at the job. It just means they're allowed to apply.
Interesting.
But
But it
waste
also
their time.
now they're going to have a
comes
hard
with
time applying. They can barely type, and they can't do much.
it's obviously the parents trying to get their kid involved with something that's going to be a money-making endeavor. I did like the fact that it said it offers a exceptional dental plan.
Did it really?
Well, that's necessary, I would say.
Yes. Well, and I was confused because it said no prior experience necessary.
You just need to have a passion for candy, pop culture, and a sweet tooth, is really what they say. I don't get this. Like, you would think rather than hire someone at $100,000, why not just put this to, like, what's that called when you get a group of people and they all,
Like a think tank?
Test.
Like a
there's a name for that. Like, they would show a TV show
what
to
is
like
it? It's a test group?
Yeah, a focus group.
a focus group.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
If you took that $100,000 and had
We'll
a
get
focus group of random, if you had just like a focus group and you did it that way, you would think you would get a better result than taking one person's, subjective opinion every time. Unless for whatever reason that person had their finger on the pulse of like what candy eaters want.
I think that's what they're looking for, Jordan.
Yeah, good
They're-
point,
Well,
maybe. And maybe that person's worth $100,000.
Right.
I think we should probably get that $100,000 and divide it up between the four of us because we're sitting here talking about it. Thousands of people are hearing it, and they're getting the promotion that they wanted.
That's right.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I think this is a bit of a publicity stunt.
But who can eat it? That's 113 pieces of candy a day. That's
But you don't necessarily need to eat it. Like if you do wine tasting and stuff, you're not drinking the wine. You just kind of put it in your mouth and swish it around and spit it
but
out.
for a candy, if you're going to get the true experience of it, you have to chew it and you have to swallow it.
To see how that feels.
Yeah, it does say eating about 113 pieces of candy a day. I was thinking the same thing, Jordan, and I could taste that many and then spit them out, but I don't think I have the stomach to eat that many pieces of candy in a day.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
That'd be that's like a tough job.
You may love
Yeah.
candy when you start, but the candy's going to... Yeah. After a couple of years of that, you're done.
Well,
After a couple of weeks.
yeah,
easy.
it sounds like a dream job, but this is hell. Imagine another one is you think
Well, it's
of
like when your parents catch you smoking and they make you smoke a whole carton of cigarettes.
Right.
I guess
You
it's
like
nothing like
candy?
that actually, but
It's a little like that.
Such a random number, 113. Why are we going, why not 115 or 100 or 110?
I don't know.
whenever I hear like random number 113, something like that, I'm immediately thinking like what we need is like the QAnon people to dissect that 113 and see what that means. Because this is like now seeing as it is a random number, this is probably like a satanic cult that is grooming children. So I'm out.
I think it's actually mathematics here. I think because they suggest it'll take over 3,500 products each month to taste. So they just divided by 31, apparently.
So
And it's an
35.
approximate number. 3,500 divided by 31 is 113.
Can we get nodded on that?
I imagined it that the person who held the job previously, who doesn't have the job anymore for undisclosed reasons,
Diabetes.
He's in the hospital still.
extreme diabetes. That person consistently ate 113 every day and determined that there's no way you could eat any more per day.
And it was Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, Joey Chestnut used to hold this job, and nobody could eat more candy than Joey Chestnut.
He's out with like flavor and sugar. He's like popcorn. That's it.
Yeah.
From now,
Give me
bags
give
of
me
it.
Yeah.
unbuttered, unsalted popcorn now.
The final story we have tonight is from People magazine, and the headline is Woman Regains Sight After Going Blind as a Teen, Says Husband is More Handsome Than I Could Have Imagined. And I really love the headline. And it's
He is pretty handsome. He's
it's
no
a
handsome
lovely
Aaron.
couple.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. It's like when I read that article, so she met him, got with him, and married him, not knowing how he looked physically. Well, I guess even a blind person can touch their face or whatever and get like a visual image in their head of what they would look like. But he is a really handsome guy, and she's a beautiful girl too. And it's great that they're together and they
Yeah,
found
it's two
love.
attractive people together. Let's all celebrate that.
They
Yeah,
found
it's two
love.
attractive people together. Let's all celebrate that.
Well, they found
Like-
love like for in a genuine way. Like if like
But
I
if
don't know.
she was an unattractive blind person, would he have dated her? Let's address the elephant in the room.
We
here.
don't know. We don't know.
Aaron, he said that he loved how brave she was. She was a fighter. Instant connection. Nothing to do with her looks.
I don't like this guy. This
I
handsome.
don't trust him either.
No, I don't like him one bit. I don't like her either. So let's just get
I think it's a nice
do you-
story.
What if she regained? Well, first of all, I don't want to get into the what ifs right now. I just want to address what was the affliction that happened with her vision.
Yeah.
Is kind of crazy.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
rare. Yeah, so she had vision throughout her life up until when she was 18, but in May of 2017, Sophia Cora woke up to find that she had lost her vision. And apparently it's called keratoconus, and it occurs
keratoconus.
when your cornea thins and gradually bulges outward into a cone shape and may require a cornea transplant. So now she's 24, and Christian, her now husband, helped her raise 20 grand for surgery to repair her vision. And so she went about 6 years with being blind and met Christian in the meantime. And now it's just happily ever after.
Oh, also very, very arrogant on his end to raise to help her raise 20 grand because he's looking in the mirror and he's like, damn, I'm so handsome. I need to figure out how to raise money so she can see how handsome I am.
She needs to know what she's got. You know,
Exactly.
I don't think she quite understands
What an
she's
ego
got.
on this guy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. This guy's unreal. But like, let's ask the real questions here, okay? Now, first off, before I ask these questions, I want to state for the record, I'm more than happy that she got her sight back. Let's just clear the air there, okay?
It is officially on the record.
Okay, that's official. My official stance is I'm happy she got her sight back. That's awesome. What if he wasn't handsome?
Well, there's the what ifs, right? Yeah.
Like,
What if-
would he have helped her get her vision back? Or would it be in his best interest to act like he's trying to crowdsource the money and get the money, but be like, I don't know what's people's problems are. They're not pitching in.
You gamble it all away.
She'll never
my
see
God.
how much money has been raised, so he can totally get away with it.
Yeah, so this story would actually be a lot sweeter if he wasn't handsome. And she's like, I got my sight back after all those years. I'd never seen his face before. And I still love him.
He's not what I expected, but
I love
But I
him
love
anyway
him for
because
who
he
he is.
supported me through this whole thing.
yeah, this would be a beautiful story if he was like butt ugly.
Yeah, it would be a Beauty and the Beast type story, right? It would be that kind of acceptance of like, we fell in love while I was blind, and then now I'm not blind anymore. I can see that I
She's like, reverse it. I was fine. It's fine
Yeah.
with my imagination.
Yeah.
A Beauty and the Beast type story. That's
Or it could be a Beauty and the Beast story, but just with way more moving parts, but also like high stakes because you have the whole like him being the hero and raising the money despite knowing the risks, but wanting to do it for her and proving like his love for her at the same time. Like that's a nice story.
Well, this has been quite an event tonight, guys. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I think like Tim and Lance, I think you guys need to keep this up. I think you're perfect to be doing like a weird American news roundup weekly. You guys like do such an amazing job of breaking down stories and highlighting interesting stuff. This is like a perfect fit for Crawlspace, I think.
Thanks. Well, I think it's a perfect fit for what you guys do too, and it's great to hear you with Aaron here, your good friend. You guys have a great rapport, and it's always funny too listening. And I really love it. So you guys keep up the good work, and we'll try to keep up the good work.
We'll all do good work together.
Shannon says, "Hail Jordan," first of all, and then she says, "Handsome Aaron, I officially invite you to my house for an egg salad sandwich sans funeral."
I only feel right going if someone died. When I die, I want the egg salad sandwiches buried with me.